Whispers from Thrace. The shadowy origins of Spartacus. The early life of Spartacus is shrouded in mystery. We know he was born around 111 BC. We know he was Thracian. Thrace was a wild land in the Balkans. It was known for its fierce warriors. Spartacus, it seems, was one of these warriors. He may even have served in the Roman army. We don't know for sure. What we do know is that Spartacus's life took a dramatic turn when he was captured. He was sold into slavery. This was a cruel fate, but it was one shared by many in the ancient world. Slavery was a fact of life. Rome in particular relied on slave labor. Slaves built their roads, slaves worked their fields, slaves fought and died in their arenas. For Spartacus, slavery led him to the gladiatorial school at Capua. This was a brutal and unforgiving place. Gladiators were trained to fight. They fought to the death. They fought for the entertainment of the Roman crowds. Spartacus, however, was no ordinary gladiator. He was a skilled warrior. He was a natural leader, and he yearned for freedom. This yearning would soon ignite a firestorm that would shake the Roman Republic to its core. From gladiator to general, the rise of the rebellious slave. In 73 BC, Spartacus made his daring move. He, along with around 70 other gladiators, escaped from the gladiatorial school in Capua. It was a desperate gamble. Armed with only kitchen knives and whatever weapons they could scavenge, the escaped gladiators were a desperate and dangerous force. They sought refuge on the slopes of Mount Vesuvius. It was here that Spartacus's leadership qualities truly came to the fore. More and more slaves flocked to Spartacus's banner. They came from all over Italy. They came from all walks of life. They were united by one common desire: freedom. Spartacus, the former gladiator, became Spartacus, the rebel leader. He drilled his ragtag army. He instilled in them a sense of discipline and purpose, and he prepared them for war against the might of Rome. What began as a local slave revolt quickly escalated into a full-blown uprising. The Roman Senate, initially dismissive of the threat posed by a band of escaped slaves, began to grow alarmed as Spartacus's forces swelled in number and confidence. Spartacus, it seemed, possessed not only the courage of a lion, but also the strategic mind of a seasoned general. He was not content with simply escaping slavery. He sought to dismantle the entire system that had enslaved him and his people. A rebel with a cause? Debating Spartacus's motives. The true motives of Spartacus have been a subject of debate for centuries. Was he simply a rebel, driven by a desire to break free from his chains and wreak havoc upon his Roman oppressors? Or was he something more, a freedom fighter, a revolutionary who envisioned a world without slavery? Some historians argue that Spartacus was primarily concerned with survival. He was a skilled military leader, they contend, who fought to protect himself and his followers from Roman retribution. They point to his tactical brilliance on the battlefield as evidence of his pragmatism. He was not interested in grand political ideals, they argue, but simply in staying one step ahead of the Roman legions. Others, however, see Spartacus as a figure of immense symbolic power, a champion of the oppressed who dared to challenge the very foundations of Roman society. They highlight his charisma, his ability to unite disparate groups of people under the banner of freedom. They point to the fact that slaves flocked to his cause, risking everything for a chance to break free from their bonds. The truth, as is often the case, likely lies somewhere in between. Spartacus was undoubtedly a product of his time, a man driven by a complex interplay of personal and political motivations. He was a brilliant military strategist, but he was also a charismatic leader who inspired hope in the hearts of the oppressed. Spartacus's slave revolt was marked by stunning victories against the Roman Republic. His military acumen was undeniable. He used surprise and mobility to outmaneuver his Roman adversaries. He chose battlegrounds carefully. Exploiting Roman overconfidence, he achieved notable victories. At Mount Vesuvius, his forces repelled a Roman assault. Using vines, they attacked from the rear. This showcased Spartacus's tactical brilliance. Another key victory came at Mutina. Spartacus's forces defeated a Roman army led by Praetor Gaius Cassius Longinus. This victory sent shockwaves through the Roman Republic, demonstrating that Spartacus's slave army was formidable. It inspired more slaves to join his cause. Spartacus was also a master of logistics, ensuring his troops were well fed and equipped. He understood that an army marches on its stomach. Even as they moved rapidly through the Italian countryside, he maintained morale, inspiring his followers to fight with zeal and ferocity. The slave revolt led by Spartacus was ultimately crushed in 71 BC. The final battle, fought near the Salaris River, was a brutal and bloody affair. Spartacus's forces, exhausted and outnumbered, fought with the courage of desperation. But the Roman legions, led by the ambitious general Marcus Licinius Crassus, proved too powerful. Spartacus himself died in the battle. His body was never found. Despite his defeat, Spartacus's legacy lived on. He became a symbol of resistance against oppression, a martyr for freedom fighters throughout history. His name became synonymous with courage, defiance, and the pursuit of liberty. In the centuries that followed, Spartacus's story continued to inspire. His name was invoked by revolutionaries and reformers, by those who dared to challenge the status quo and fight for a more just and equitable world. The story of Spartacus has resonated through the ages, inspiring countless works of art, literature, and film. His life and struggle have captured the imaginations of writers, artists, and filmmakers who have found in his story a timeless tale of courage, resistance, and the human spirit's indomitable will to break free from oppression. In literature, Spartacus has been the subject of numerous novels, plays, and poems. From the historical novels of Howard Fast to the epic poems of Bertolt Brecht, Spartacus's story has been told and retold, each generation finding new meaning and relevance in his struggle. Cinema, too, has been captivated by the legend of Spartacus. Stanley Kubrick's 1960 film Spartacus, starring Kirk Douglas, remains a cinematic masterpiece, a powerful and moving portrayal of the slave revolt that brought the Roman Republic to its knees. The film's iconic line, "I am Spartacus," spoken by a group of slaves in a defiant act of solidarity, has become a rallying cry for the oppressed around the world. Over 2,000 years after his death, Spartacus remains a figure of enduring relevance. His story continues to resonate in a world grappling with issues of social justice, inequality, and the struggle for human rights. Spartacus's legacy is a reminder that even the most powerful empires can be challenged by the human spirit's indomitable will to be free. His story is a testament to the power of courage, resilience, and the unwavering belief in a better world. In the face of oppression and injustice, Spartacus's story serves as a timeless beacon of hope, reminding us that the fight for freedom is a noble and necessary one, a fight that transcends time and place. His legacy continues to inspire, urging us to stand up for what is right, to challenge the status quo, and to never give up hope for a more just and equitable world.